The Detroit Lions make their best extensions yet, and we need to talk about this. Like, we talk about players, we talk about extending players with their contract, we talk about bringing in free agency or bringing in free agents in free agency. We talk about all of that kind of stuff. And one thing we don't talk about ever, because it's usually just not out in front, and I don't know why, is the extensions and contracts of the front office players and coaching staff. I mean, think about it. When you hire a coach, it's just, oh, the Lions have hired said coach. It's never the Detroit Lions have hired Ben Johnson to a 5-year contract worth, whatever it might be worth. And it's the same with Dan Campbell. We knew he signed a 6-year deal, so this is kind of interesting what these extensions are. But and we'll talk about it. But the Detroit Lions have extended their 2 most important people. I'm going to make an argument 3 because there's one that they add on to it. Detroit Lions give Dan Campbell, GM Brad Holmes contract extensions. They are now under contract through the 2027 season. So they signed 6-year contracts, at least Dan Campbell did. So he was already here through 2026. So this adds 1 year. So one can only assume that a raise is going to be with this. They just haven't announced what it is. All right, here is the statement from the Lions. We are thrilled to have Brad and Dan under contract for the next 4 seasons, Lions owner Sheila Hemp said in a written statement. They have been the driving force behind the rebuild of our football team and the success that we have enjoyed. The continuity they provide for our football program will continue to be key for our future success in the on the field. Now, in the rest of this video, because you're like, all right, is this all he's going to talk about? There's one more guy that we extended, but also I'm going to give you proof of who these guys are because we can actually look at it and we can realize that this is something different, and they've been doing it for 3 years each now, and so there actually is some proof. If you look down here, in addition to Holmes and Campbell, the Lions also announced a multi-year extension for Chris Spielman, the team's special assistant. All right? This one is Rod Wood talking. I could not be more proud of the work that Brad, Dan, and Chris have done for our organization. All right? They have selflessly, big difference there, selflessly worked together to build a winning culture within the Lions, and I am excited to continue to work with them to create the sustained success that we envision for the team, our fans, and the city of Detroit. What I love about this is the selfless part of it. Chris Spielman coming in and consistently being like, whatever you guys need, I got you. I'm going to take care of it. Let me help you. I want to help you in any way that I can. And that's exactly what he does. Like, he helps in any way that he can. It is truly remarkable. So he's sitting here doing everything that he can. Dan and Brad are sitting there like looking like best friends all the time. They agree. They understand what it looks like. So I want to go to 2 things. And the first is one of my favorite, which is to go, let's play a little game called See Who Brad Holmes Drafted. And this is his first 3 drafts. All right. And let's see who's still on the team. All right. His very first draft, Jefferson, Barnes, St. Brown, Melifonwu, Aleem McNeil, Onwuzurike, and Sewell. Every single one of those players is under contract for the Lions right now. The only player that it's like, all right, we've seen nothing from him is Jamar Jefferson. He was a 7th-round pick. All right, now let's go to 2022. Chase Lucas, James Houston, Malcolm Rodriguez, James Mitchell, Kirby Joseph, Josh Paschal, Jamo, and Hutch. Everybody except Chase Lucas. Again, a 7th-round pick. Everybody else is still on the team. Everybody else has helped the team, just to be clear. All right, last year, Antoine Green, Colby Sorsdahl, Broderick Martin, Hendon Hooker, Brian Branch, Sam Laporta, Jack Campbell, Jameer Gibbs. Arguably his best draft class yet as far as 1-year returns. Gibbs, Laporta, Branch, studs. All right, jury's out on Campbell on whether or not he's just going to be a player or if he's going to be a player, right? Big difference there. Hooker didn't get to see. Martin, not good yet. Not good yet. We'll see. Sorsdahl was a 5th-round pick, and he looked like it. Now let's go to the draft right before him. Okudah, Swift, Okwara, Jonah Jackson, Stenberg, Cephas, Huntley, Penasini, Cornell. one of those players, Jonah Jackson, lived up to where he was drafted. As a second-round running back, DeAndre Swift wasn't it for us under two different coaching regimes. Jonah Jackson played well and just got paid. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 draft picks, not one player still on our team. That's the Brad Holmes effect, because his 3 drafts, 2 total players aren't on our team still. That's insane. That's insane. And you can sit here, well, that was a year older. So are you telling me next year at this time, Sewell, McNeil, Melifonwu, St. Brown aren't going to still be on this team? They're going to still be on this team. All right, to show something with Dan Campbell, then we can go back to Brad Holmes again. I want to go into a weird archive. This was December 1st of 2022. This was the team that ended that year hot as can be. I think it was like 6-2, 7-2, something like that. We ended up beating the Packers to keep them out of the playoffs. We were a LA Rams Baker Mayfield victory away from being a playoff team. We were one away from being a playoff team. And here's our receivers: DJ Chark, Josh Reynolds, and St. Brown. All right, year 2, St. Brown. The offensive line, very, very similar. Decker, Jackson, Ragnow, Brown, Sewell. Brock Wright at tight end. All right. James Mitchell and Shane Zylstra. Remember, there was no Hutch, no Laporta. Goff is your quarterback. Jamal Williams is toting the rock because Swift is hurt all the time, and Kumbinda at fullback. That is not a great offense, but not terrible. Like, it's a really good offensive line, so the offense can work, but not a lot of weapons. You have St. Brown. That's your weapon. That's it. That's it. All right. And then on the defensive side of things, you have a rookie, Josh Paschal. You have Bugs, who later would be coach's decision inactive a lot the next year. Aleem McNeil, before he was Aleem McNeil, before he dropped 20 pounds and became a stud this year. Hutchinson as a rookie. Malcolm Rodriguez, a 6th-round draft pick, starting at linebacker, alongside of, at the time, journeyman Alex Anzalone. All right, and then your defensive backfield: Jerry Jacobs, Deshaun Elliott, Kirby Joseph, Jeff Okuda, and Will Harris. How many of those guys are contributing players in the NFL right now? Like, this is not a team, especially that defense, that should have gone 9-8. That was a great coaching job. And then when you fast forward to this year and you have the talent, you have a 12-5 team. That's the difference here. All right. Here's the other thing that I love. They don't have DJ Reader's contract information yet, but Brad Holmes doing it again. Everybody's going nuts. DJ Reader, he's clearing space. We're going to have cap space. So what are we going to do with it? Like, after DJ Reader signs this, I would imagine his first year cap hit's going to be somewhere around the 10 to 12 million range, because we know it's a 2-year 23.5, but 9 million of it guaranteed. So let's say you just give him almost all of his guaranteed money up front in that first year. That takes that salary cap, let's even just say, down to 20 million. What are we going to do with that 20 million? I know there's going to be some, you have to have stuff in there for the draft picks, but that's only going to cost like 5 or 6, right? Maybe 7. Are they good? And you want to have a good portion of the team's cap space available to make moves during the season if a guy comes available, or do you want to put front end money on St. Brown's contract? I don't know. These are the things that you trust Brad Holmes to do. He deserves the extension. He's really doing a good job, both of these guys. The team is in a good spot. Fans have been freaking out a little bit with the free agency period this time, but this is what Brad Holmes does. He gets his roster to a spot that's good enough so that he can then draft whatever he wants, because he wants to draft for talent, not for need. All right, hope you like it. Hope you like this regime, because they're going to be here a while. All right, thanks for watching. See you on the next one.